Friends, I'm here to tell you about the Torah today. We're going to talk about the Torah. Does Yeshua want you to keep the Torah? That is the question. Does Yeshua want you to do the Torah? Let's see here in Matthew chapter 5. Chapter 5, Matthew in Hebrews, Matthew chapter 5, verses 17 through 19. Don't think that I have come to abolish the Torah or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to complete. Yes, indeed, I tell you that until heaven and earth pass away, not so much as a yod or a stroke will pass from the Torah, not until everything that must happen has happened. So whoever disobeys the least of these mitzvot and teaches others to do so will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever obeys them and so teaches will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So friends, there you have it. Yeshua wants you to keep the Torah. Let me read it again. Matthew chapter 5 verse 17 to 19. Don't think that I have come to abolish the Torah or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to complete. Yes, indeed, I tell you that until heaven and earth pass away, not so much as a yod or a stroke will pass from the Torah, not until everything that must happen has happened. So whoever disobeys the least of these mitzvot and teaches others to do so will be called the least of the kingdom of heaven. But whoever obeys them and so teaches will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So friends, right there, this is in Matthew chapter 5 verse 17 through 19. Friends, Yeshua wants you to keep the Torah. He wants you to keep the Torah. Nowhere in scriptures does it tell you not to keep the Torah. And here's another one in Matthew chapter 23 verses 33 and 34. You snakes, you sons of snakes, how can you escape being condemned to Gehenna? Therefore I am sending you prophets and sages and Torah teachers. Some of them you will kill. Indeed, you will have them executed on stakes as criminals. Some you will flog in your synagogues and pursue from town to town. Right here, Yeshua is sending Torah teachers out. It says, therefore I am sending you prophets and sages and Torah teachers. Does Yeshua want you to keep the Torah? Yes, he wants you to keep the Torah. And this is a warning to everyone that does not keep the Torah. It says, therefore I am sending you prophets and sages and Torah teachers. It says, therefore I'm sending you prophets and sages and Torah teachers. Let me ask you something. Are you going to obey Yah, or are you going to obey man? Are you going to obey Yah's mitzvahs in the Torah, or are you going to obey man when he says don't do the Torah that's done away with? Let me tell you something. If you go man's way, this is what you're going to get right here. It says right here, It says, how can you escape being condemned to Gehenna? You snakes, sons of snakes, how can you escape being condemned to Gehenna? If you go man's way, that's what you're going to get, Gehenna. And what is Gehenna? It's the fiery pit. If you go Yah's way, this is what you're going to get right here. Therefore, I'm sending you prophets and sages and Torah teachers. Yah will bless you if you obey His mitzvahs. He will curse you if you disobey His mitzvahs. You know, a lot of people say, well, the renewed covenant, it says that the Torah is done away with. Here's what the Yah says in His Word. This is starting with the Romans chapter 2, verse 20. An instructor for the spiritually unaware and to the blind, a light in the darkness, and that was verse 21, verse 19. An instructor for the spiritually unaware and a teacher of children. Since the Torah, you have the embodiment of knowledge and truth, then you who teach others, don't you teach yourself, preaching, thou shalt not steal? Do you steal, saying thou shalt not commit adultery? Do you commit adultery? Detesting idols? Do you commit adulterous acts? You who take such pride in Torah, do you, by disobeying the Torah, dishonor Yah? As it says in the Tanakh, for it is because of you that Yah's name is blasphemed by the Goyim. We're supposed to obey the Torah, friends. We're supposed to obey the Torah. Let me back up. Let's read Romans 2, chapter 2, verse 17 through 19. But if you call yourself a Hebrew and rest on Torah and boast about Yah and know His will and give your approval to what is right, because you have been instructed from the Torah, and if you have persuaded yourself that you are a guide to the blind, a light in the darkness, an instructor for the spiritually unaware, and a teacher of children, since the Torah you have the embodiment of knowledge and truth, then you who teach others, don't you teach yourself, preaching, thou shalt not steal? Do you steal, saying thou shalt not commit adultery? Do you commit adultery? Detesting idols? Do you commit adulterous acts? You who take such pride in Torah, you by disobeying the Torah dishonor Yah. If you disobey the Torah, you are disobeying Yah. That's what Shaul is saying here. Shaul is talking to those who are in the Torah, and he's encouraged you to get in the Torah. And when you do get in Torah, he's telling you, do you preach thou shalt not steal? Then he asks you, do you steal? And he asks you, thou shalt not commit adultery? Do you commit adultery? Detesting idols? Do you commit adulterous acts? And let me tell you something, friends, paganism is adulterous acts. You are committing adulterous acts when you are celebrating Christmas, which is Tammuz, his birthday, a false pagan god, and when you celebrate Easter, Ishtar, a false pagan god on Easter. You are doing adulterous acts. And this is what this is what Saul is saying. He said, detesting idols, do you commit adulterous acts? You who take such pride in Torah, do you by disobeying the Torah dishonor Yah? Let me tell you something. If you dishonor Yah, you're dishonoring the Torah. When you're dishonoring the Torah, you're dishonoring Yah. My friends, those who are teaching Torah, this is what the word Yah says in Romans. It says, if you have persuaded yourself that you are a guide to the blind, a light in the darkness, that right there is what the Torah is. It's a light in the darkness. It is a guide to the blind. It says right here in verse 17, it says, but if you call yourself a Hebrew and rest on Torah and boast about Yah and know His will and give your approval to what is right, because you have been instructed from the Torah. And if you have persuaded yourself that you are a guide to the blind, a light in the darkness, an instructor for the spiritually unaware, and a teacher of children, since in the Torah you have the embodiment of knowledge and truth. Friends, Saul ain't telling you not to keep the Torah there. He's telling you to keep the Torah. He's telling you to teach the Torah. And when you teach the Torah, to others, you are to do what the Torah says. You are to keep the mitzvahs of Yah. This is not just a requirement to us Hebrews, but it's a requirement to you Goyim as well. Because let me tell you something. We don't serve two different Yahs. We serve one Yah. If you serve the Yah of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, then you are serving the same Yah as I do, and the same Torah applies to me, applies to you. And if you don't obey the Torah, you're dishonoring Yah, and if you dishonor Yah, you dishonor the Torah. The Torah is of Yah. Listen what it says right here in Romans 2 verse 15. For their lives show that the conduct the Torah dictates is written in their hearts. Their conscience also bear witness to this. For their conflicting thoughts sometimes accuse them and sometimes defend them. See, Yah, it says, for their lives show that the conduct the Torah dictates is written in their hearts. It's written in our hearts. It's supposed to be written in our hearts. The Torah is supposed to be written in our hearts. It's found in Romans 2, verse 15. It's supposed to be written in our hearts. The Torah is supposed to be written in our hearts and on our minds, as the Scripture says. And if you ain't doing what Yah tells you to do, you're not doing the Torah. If you're not obeying Yah's mitzvahs, you're not obeying the Torah. I encourage you to obey the Torah, to get in the Torah. And the renewed covenant does not speak against the Torah. People has distorted the renewed covenant. I don't know how they get the Torah done away with in the renewed covenant. Because let me tell you something, man has tampered with a lot of things in the renewed covenant, which isn't so. Yah does not tell you to go against His Torah. He tells you to obey His Torah. If there's anything in the renewed covenant that it says to disobey the Torah, then it's added onto. That's not of Yah. Because the Torah is life. The Torah is life that Yah has given us. The Torah is life. The Torah is life that Yah has given us. The Torah is life that Yah has given us. I encourage you to do what Yah has told you to do, brothers and sisters. Don't listen to man when they say the Torah's done away with. It's not done away with. It never has been. You look at your door. If the Torah was done away with, would he not destroy the earth? Why, under the Torah it says in the beginning. In Bereshit it says in the beginning. Yah created the heavens and the earth. That's the Torah. It's not heaven and earth still here. It's not the stars in the sky still here. It's not the moon still there. It's not the sun still there. It's not the heaven still there. It's not Israel still there. And will always be there. Yah made a covenant with Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Does that covenant still stand? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And you say in a renewed covenant, it says Yah has done away with the Torah. Let me prove to you otherwise. Go with me to Hebrews. This proves right here that he has not done away with the Torah. He has established the Torah. The renewed covenant establishes the Torah. It don't do away with it. Yeah, and people are lying when you say that the Torah is done away. Go with me to Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8 through 12. See, the days are coming, for Yah does find fault with the people who when he says, see, the days are coming, says Yah, when I will establish over the house of Israel and over the house of Yehudah a new Berit in Hebrews covenant. It will not be like the Berit which I made with their fathers on the day when I took them by their hand and led them forth out of the land of Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim in Hebrew is Egypt. Because they, for their parts, did not remain faithful to my Berit. So I, for my part, stopped concerning myself with them, says Yah. Well, this is the Berit which I will make with the house of Israel. With the house of Israel. Not with the Goyim, but with the house of Israel after those days, says Yah. I will put my Torah in their minds and write it on their hearts. I will be their Yah, and they will be my people. None of them will teach his fellow citizen or his brother, saying, know Yah, for all will know me, from the least of them to the greatest, because I will be merciful toward their wickedness and remember their sins no more. Who's he making the Berit with? He's not making it with a girl. And it says he made a Berit with the house of Israel. With the house of Israel. For this is the Berit in Hebrews covenant. For this is the Berit which I make with the house of Israel. And who is the house of Israel? Well, Yaakov's name under Bereshit was changed from Yaakov to Israel. He said, no longer will you be called Yaakov, but you will be called Israel. Who did he make a covenant with? Right here in Hebrews chapter 8, verses 10, it says, for this is the Berit which I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says Yah. It doesn't say Christian, it doesn't say Goyim, it doesn't say church, but it says Israel. Israel. For this is the Berit which I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says Yah. It don't say anything else. It says Israel. Here's right here. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 16. This is the barrett which I will make with them after those days, says Yah. I will put my Torah on their hearts and write it on their minds. Verse 17. He then adds, and their sins and their wickedness I'll remember no more. So who's he making the barrett with, which is covenant in Hebrew? He's making the barrett with Israel. Let me write this down so you will understand it. He's making barrett with Israel. A barrett with Israel. Barrett in Hebrew is covenant, friends. Barrett in Hebrew is covenant. I encourage you to study Yah's word. He made a renewed covenant with the house of Israel. What is the covenant? The covenant is the Torah. The Torah is the new covenant that he made with the house of Israel. He renewed it. That's all the renewed covenant is the Torah and the Tanakh. The Torah is the very foundation. The very foundation. Who is Israel? What did Yaakov's name in Bereshit? Yah told him, no longer will you be called Yaakov, but you will be called Israel. Israel. And Yaakov's name was changed to Israel. Who is Israel? Yaakov. Who is Israel? Yaakov's children. Who is Israel? Abraham's descendants. Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Did Yah do away with the Torah? He made a renewed covenant with the house of Israel. I tell you, you better not listen to man when he says the Torah's done away with. The Torah's not done away with, friends. I encourage you to study Yah's word. Or you are going to be held responsible if you don't obey Yah's mitzvahs. I guarantee you this, if you disobey Yah's mitzvahs, and you keep on saying the Torah's done away with, well, one day you're going to stand at the judgment seat. And what is Yah going to say to you who are Torahless? Well, he's going to do you like he does one when he comes. He'll destroy him when he's coming. The brightness of his coming will destroy the Torahless man. That's what it says in 2 Thessalonians. It says that when he comes, the brightness of his coming will destroy the Torahless man. And that's one who don't abide in the Torah. And you, along with, if you don't obey the Torah, you will be destroyed along with any person that is destroyed that don't obey the Torah. So, are you part of the barrett with Abraham, Isaac, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? That is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Are you? If you're coming through the Commonwealth of Israel and you're obeying the Torah, yes. But if you're going around and telling people to disobey the Torah, no. No. And if you're telling people the Torah's done away with, no. You are not obeying Yah. And you will find yourself an enemy of Yah because you are teaching false information. The Torah is the truth. The Torah is light. The Torah is life. He made a barrett with Israel. Israel. Barrett in Hebrew means covenant. Covenant. There. I encourage you to study Yah's word. Yah bless.